Ladies and gentlemen, college football is finally back, which means class is back in session. Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys, ready to kick off our regular season content. It's finally here. Best time of the year. We have predicted every single team, every single record. Now it's time to watch these teams in action. Week 0 kicking off this Saturday. Look, I know week 1 is going to be where the true fun begins. August 28th, we get 5 straight days of college football, but I'm not complaining about this week 0 slate. All of these games should be absolutely fantastic, and we're here to predict every single one of them for you today. We'll kick it off. The best game of the day. How about it? The first college football game of the year is a top 25 matchup in Big 12 conference play in Ireland between number 22 Iowa State and number 17 Kansas State. It's Farmageddon in Ireland. And we're actually going to have an individual video out on this. So I kind of lied a little bit. We're not sharing who we think will win between Iowa State and Kansas State right now. Tomorrow, we will have a full video dedicated to this game, and we'll share who we believe will win in Ireland. But the first game of the year, a battle between two teams that are Big 12 title contenders and two teams that I believe are playoff contenders as well. Iowa State has won 5 of the last 7 over Kansas State, which should be noted. They won last year 29-21. The year before, the Cyclones won 42-35. But this is going to be a fun game. The two questions I have, though, for both these teams. You start on Iowa State. Love that Rocco Beck returns. Love their top 2 rushes return. Who is Beck going to throw to, right? You lose 2 1,000-yard wide receivers in Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins. Yes, they added some solid transfers, who we'll touch on more tomorrow, but how quickly can that chemistry be built, and how quickly can they start to gel against one of the better defenses within the Big 12 Conference? So that's what I'm looking out for Iowa State. For Kansas State, pumped to see the growth and development of Avery Johnson. I thought he played well last year, but now it's time to see him take that next step as a passer. He only completed 58% of his passes last year. Yes, many will attribute that to some drops, some bad plays by the receiver, so it wasn't all his fault, but we do need to see him take that extra step forward. Kansas State can be the champion of the Big 12. They can be a playoff team if the passing offense improves just a little bit. They've got a good wide receiver core, but he's got to get better throwing the ball. Those are the two questions I have on the offensive side of the ball for the Cyclones and the Wildcats. Both defenses are phenomenal. It should be a great game in Ireland to kick off the year. And again, we'll have our official prediction for that tomorrow right here on the channel, so do not miss out. Let's go Fresno State and Kansas. This game could surprise you. It actually could be a little bit closer than people expect. Fresno State going to be in their first game under new head coach Matt Ent, who went a whopping 60-11 at North Dakota State from 2019 to 2023. He won 2 national titles with the Bison. And this is a team that I think could be maybe a sleeper in the Mountain West. They had E.J. Werner at quarterback, who needs to cut down on his turnovers, but has a very strong arm and can rack up a lot of touchdowns. So I love Werner, an experienced quarterback through Temple, at Rice, now at Fresno State. They've got a solid running back core, and I really think that could be interesting considering Kansas' defense is not that great. The weakness for the Jayhawks defensively is their secondary. So if E.J. Werner comes in, lives up to the hype, builds some quick chemistry with these wide receivers, Fresno State could hang with the Jayhawks quite a bit in this game. But ultimately, I'm going to side with Kansas here. A lot of factors going to that. The Jayhawks were much better than last year's 5-7 record showed. It was a very disappointing season for them. They went 5-7 with 5 one-possession losses. Just think, Kansas could have been a 9-10 win team last year. We saw what they were capable of when they won 3 straight games over 3 ranked opponents, over number 17 Iowa State, number 7 BYU, and number 16 Colorado. So that showed what Kansas could do. They just had a really poor start to the season that kind of derailed them. But now they've got a senior and veteran quarterback in Jalen Daniels coming back. You've got Daniel Highshaw back at running back. All of that, plus the hype surrounding their newly renovated stadium that they didn't get to play in last year. They were renovating the stadium, getting it ready to go. They're going to be debuting it in this game against Fresno State. So with a senior quarterback who's looking to bounce back after a bad year, in front of a home crowd, new stadium, you don't lose. You can't lose in your first game in the newly renovated place. This can't happen. Kansas wins, but it could be high scoring and could be closer than people realize. Sam Houston at Western Kentucky. That's a Conference USA matchup here. That is a conference game in week 0. So we're getting a Big 12 conference game here, Conference USA conference game here. So these games matter, guys. I mean, every game matters, but these are not just cupcake teams. You know, UNLV, I think, plays Idaho State. That's not up here because we are going to pick the Rebels to win that game big. But these are games that could be very competitive, games that could be close. You take a look at the Bearcats and the Hilltoppers. These are two teams that are going to look drastically different than what we saw last year. Both coming off very solid 2024 campaigns. Sam Houston especially winning 10 games last year, but they're going to take a step back. Casey Keeler, their head coach, who helped them win a national title at the FCS level, is now gone, taking the head coaching job at Temple. The Bearcats now led by Phil Longo, who was actually the offensive coordinator at Sam Houston from 2014 to 2016, was the offensive coordinator at Wisconsin last year, finally getting his crack to be a head coach. They do return their quarterback, Hunter Watson, which is huge, but the Bearcats lose their top 16 tacklers from last year. Top 16 tacklers gone for Sam Houston. Only 3 starters back on that side of the ball. That could pose a problem against Western Kentucky, who was the Conference USA runner-up last year, and Tyson Helton doing what he does best, dipping into the portal, bringing in some solid talent, including new quarterback Maverick McIver. What a name. From Abilene Christian. Threw for over 3,800 yards and 30 touchdowns last year. And with him, they brought his offensive coordinator for Abilene Christian, Ricky Bowie. Offensive coordinator helped lead Abilene Christian to 470 yards per game last year. That offense could be lethal in the Conference USA, certainly against an inexperienced Sam Houston defense. Factor in home field advantage. Factor in that even last year with a good Sam Houston team, Western Kentucky went on the road and won that game by 17 points. I know last year doesn't completely matter, but Western Kentucky, from a coaching standpoint, from a talent standpoint, home field advantage standpoint, owns the edge. I think they get the win over Sam Houston. The Hilltoppers, again, going to be an elite contender within the Conference USA. And to wrap up our Week 0 predictions, we've got a fun one out on the island. Stanford at Hawaii. This game, I think, is going to be much better than people realize as well. The spread is only like a Hawaii favored by like 2.5. And for me, this was probably one of the toughest games to pick on the Week 0 slate because Stanford obviously is a massive mess right now. They have not had a competitive football team in a long time. They've got an interim head coach right now in Frank Wright coming in. They're going to have to start a freshman quarterback, a redshirt freshman, I should say, and Elijah Brown. They lose 3 of their top 4 pass catchers from last year, so the offense wasn't great last year. Now they're very inexperienced. The defense does have 8 starters back, but they gave up over 33 points per game last year and nearly 300 passing yards per game last year. You look at Hawaii, this is arguably their best team yet under Timmy Chang. The passing offense averaged nearly 270 passing yards per game. Micah Alejado, get to know the name. I think he's going to be a star in the Mountain West this year. Their top 2 pass catchers return. Their top 5 tacklers on defense return. A defense that improved by 6.2 points per game. This is a Hawaii team I think is one that could finally break through and make a bowl game. But will one of their 6 wins be against Stanford? I'm going to say no. And again, I don't feel like, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't feel highly confident in this pick. Like, these other games, I feel pretty confident. Stanford, Hawaii, truly, to me, is a toss-up. But back in 2023, I actually picked Hawaii to beat Stanford, and they let me down. I did not have any faith in that Stanford team whatsoever, and Stanford went on the road and won by 13. Hawaii is 0-4 all-time against Stanford. Since 2019, the season opener in 2019, Hawaii beat Arizona. Since that point, they're 0-9 against Power 4 teams. So even though Hawaii does have a talented squad, even though they have the best yet under Timmy Chang, even though Stanford's a mess, Stanford still is a Power 4 program. I think this is a team that, while a mess, the youth and the inexperience, they're still hungry. And I think this game will be very close, very competitive. I'm going to have to go with Stanford here. Hawaii let me down 2 years ago. I don't want to make the same mistake now. It truly could go either way. Would not be shocked to see the Rainbow Warriors win, but give me the Cardinal. Might be the only win they get this year, but give me the Cardinal to beat Hawaii in what should be a fun way to end Week 0 and then get us ready for Week 1, which will begin less than a week later. College football is here, guys. College football is here. We made it. We made it through the long and grueling months of the offseason. We made it through prediction season, and now it is time for the fun to begin. Week 0 kicking off 11 a.m. Central Time this Saturday. Iowa State, Kansas State in Ireland. Again, that video, that prediction coming your way tomorrow right here on the channel, along with all of our regular season content that you will not want to miss. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below. That includes these expert picks right here over on thegridironexpert.com. Some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country, beating out over 80% of the national handicappers each of the last 6 years. Do not miss out on the chance to sign up for those today. Our first picks are coming out tomorrow on Wednesday. So you need to take advantage of that. Sign up today. Start winning big with us, becoming a member of our GE Nation. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time right here on The Gridiron Expert.
Yeah.